When you look at these numbers from Reddit, the online message board that's become a major force in digital advertising and a stock that I say is one of the 10 best maybe for the next generation, this stock's been roaring for months, although it got hit hard today. It was down nearly 8%. I think it was the gravitational pull of Meta, like I talked about at the top of the show, even though Reddit has nothing to do with excessive data center spending. And tonight at the close, this company reported just a monster good quarter. It beats on every single key line, including 68% revenue growth. On top of that, Reddit's guidance for the current quarter was much higher than expected, and it's still such a bargain for advertisers. I think this growth story, as I say in the book, is still in its early innings. Don't take it from me. Earlier today, I got a chance to speak with Steve Huffman, a.k.a. Spez, the co-founder, president, and CEO of Reddit. So take a look. Mr. Huffman, welcome back to Mad Money.
Thanks, Jim. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, Steve, I got to tell you, these are indeed blowout numbers, and your advertising revenue is clearly on fire. You are one of the most visited sites in the U.S. You're able to monetize it in a way that I didn't think was possible when we first met a couple years ago.
Look, I think, look, another strong quarter for Reddit. We're really happy with the execution across the board and the ads revenue growth, 74% year over year, we're very happy with. Look, I think the allure of a tech company is that you can be a high margin, profitable, efficient business. And we've really tried to demonstrate that, early here in our journey.
Well, one thing that's absolutely certain is that you are a bargain. Customers who advertise with you, because you're so heavily targeted, find that almost everybody that you place the ad with reads it. Now, that's an extraordinary thing, and yet you don't charge as much as I thought that you might as someone who has sampled you as an advertiser.
Well, look, it's a journey, Jim. Look, our goal is to provide for our customers, across the full funnel in any climate. And so, from what we can see, the ads market is stable. We do hear from our customers that, there's some uncertainty about macros and maybe tariffs. But as we always do, we do our very best to show up for our customers and deliver them results.
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt you. You have 91% gross margins, which I regard as extraordinary. Most impressive, 40% adjusted EBITDA margins. These are much higher than every other publisher I deal with.
Look, that's the aim of Reddit. High margin, high efficiency, very low CapEx. I love the position we're in. I love our roadmap looking forward. And, our aim and what we've learned so far is we can be an AI winner without the AI cost.
Right. Now, one thing, though, I am concerned about, I think that you have purity, and I love purity. But when we had Matthew Prince on, he said not that long ago from Cloudflare that your site has actually been, let's say, liberated by some companies that I think should know better. I'm thinking about Anthropic and Perplexity. I know you've been involved in some legal tangles. Not asking you to get into that, but there is truth to people who are saying, that I believe you think, that there are people who are just plagiarizing you and taking advantage of you, and it's not right.
Well, look, we see both sides of this. Of course, I can't add anything to the legal conversation right now, but our complaints are out there, and I think they're actually a good read. And our duty is to protect, our data for our business and our users. But we also have great relationships in this space, with Google, with OpenAI, and we're very excited. Over the last couple of years, I think we've mutually learned how valuable Reddit's data is, and the ways that we can collaborate to make our mutual products better for our mutual customers. And so I'm really looking forward to, progressing these relationships over time.
Well, my hope is that I know, for instance, Wall Street Journal and OpenAI have a good relationship, that you can have more lucrative deals. I want your ad model. I think it's fantastic, but I still think that there are people you can make deals with who absolutely love to show that they're using your content, so the other guy should use it legally.
Of course. Like, I think there's so many uses for Reddit, right? Our primary product is community and conversations, but part of our mission is to make the knowledge on Reddit that comes from other humans accessible by everybody. And so, we love to be, I think, a player in this space to see how we can kind of help everybody advance the state of the art and build these great consumer experiences.
Now, one of the things that I thought was quite surprising is I know many people who, and I'm a big user, who were afraid that you would jam it up with ads, that you would junk it up. You yourself wanted to be sure you had the right amount. I don't hear any complaints at all. I mean, I don't know. How did you strike that balance?
So ad load is one way of growing inventory, but for us, it's like strategy number 10. The best way to grow inventory on Reddit is to grow usage of Reddit. So we had 190 million Americans visit Reddit every week in the last quarter, or on average. And so the reach is there. And so our work is, can we increase the frequency? And we do that by just making the product better, right? When you visit Reddit, we want to make sure in the first 30 seconds that you see something that's really amazing and relevant to you that causes you to come back. That's the best way of growing inventory and in harmony with the consumer usage of the product.
Do you think you're still relatively unknown? When my wife's company approached you for Mezcal, we were shocked that we were not overwhelmed by other Mezcal advertisers. I think they just felt, well, maybe this is not the right qualified audience. Now we're sure that others are going to find it. But the fact is that there are just many buyers of ads who just still don't know that you're the number 3.
I think this is the exciting thing about Reddit, both on the ad side and the consumer side, which is we're actually still early in our journey. And so we see so much opportunity to grow our user base, to grow our customer base, to deliver better and better results. So I love where we're at and how we've got here, but I love even more our outlook for the future. Now,
there's been a big move, obviously, in the stock of Robinhood, and a lot of those people get their ideas from Wall Street Bets. What's the growth and the qualification of Wall Street Bets? Can that also extend to these companies that are making bets on events that occur?
Look, Wall Street Bets is it's a community near and dear to my heart. I love that community, and I've loved to see the evolution of it. And it's one of many investing communities on Reddit. But I think they've done a particularly good job, I think, at highlighting the fun and uniqueness of Reddit. And they've actually been experimenting with our developer platform as well. And so I think there's a lot of momentum across the board, but with that community in particular.
I'm seeing great, I'd say, allegiance to the healthcare portions for people who have been sick, who have come together, talked to each other, and the advertisers are finally getting wind. The drug companies are finally getting wind that Reddit is the place where they have true community.
Well, so that's the thing about Reddit. There's really something there for everybody. And look, you can go there to talk about stocks, as we discussed, but every moment in your life's journey, right? Whether you're getting a job, the ups and downs of relationships, or medical challenges, we call those support communities. You can go through your life's journey on Reddit because really it's about connecting humans with other people who are going through the same thing. And so sometimes this can be fun and silly, but other times, profound and really meaningful for people. And I think that's why this product is so interesting, and that's why it's so fulfilling to work on.
Well, one last question. I like the fact that if a site is somewhat, let's say, genteel, I'm not saying gentle, but genteel, international, it does well, like Pinterest. Our friends at Pinterest are doing a terrific job international. I still think you have a lot of land, a lot of real estate international that you can get for Reddit. Do you feel the same way?
Oh, absolutely. So today, our traffic is about 45% US, 55% outside the US. For most of the people in our space, that international number is 80 to 90%. And so, that's where we look to go. So a lot of our growth over the next decade should actually come outside the United States.
Well, that's terrific. I'm a huge believer, huge user and huge believer, and talk about you and how to make money in any market is maybe one of the 10 best that has come through in the last 5 years. That's Steve Huffman. He's co-founder and CEO of Reddit. And Steve, so glad you came on the show.
Very kind, Jim. Really appreciate your support, and thanks for having me on.
Of course. Mad Money's back after break.
Coming up, is Shaq back? Shake Shack just served up results, and Cramer is sitting down with the CEO to see if it's time to take a bite. Next. Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.